Hello and welcome to this week's Energy Shot podcast. We are Matt Taylor and my name is Nicole Ercolani, and we decided to produce this podcast in order to give you a weekly astrological update from Matt and some energy shots, coaching tools, some healing wisdom from both of us, and some tapping into the energetic fields in order to give your unique soul purpose path some guidance and some energy insights. Hi,
Yes.
Matt. How are you this week?
Hi, I'm fine.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, I've just got back from London from 4 days in London, so which is enough for me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's everything went well. Everything was perfect, but it has a certain approach.
A certain vibe to it.
A certain vibe to it. Yes.
Yeah.
And now I'm back in a vibe that is a little more conducive to my vibe. Yes. Yeah. So it was good. And I did a little bit of work with my Kabbalah teacher and did some Kabbalistic connections, and very lovely. I feel like a little invigorated and a little purified, a little cleansed, a little updated, all of those things.
It's the best too.
It's the best, and I don't know how, because we've got a lot of news about London having airport meltdowns and not enough staff at the airports, not enough pilots to fly the planes.
Oh wow!
And I didn't have any of that.
No, of course not.
Got the trains were coming. I just got on the train, then the tube matched, and then the bus was there, and then everything was like this.
It sounds wonderful.
As easy as it was also, it's an energy that is quite peculiar, particular energy in London. So, yes, having lived there for 8 years, I thought I had the muscle, but maybe it's a little flabby. Need to rebuild it. I
love that.
Lovely time though, lovely people. It was the Queen's Jubilee.
I love spending time with my spiritual teachers. It really does something. It enhances your. For me, when I spend time with my spiritual teacher, I come back very nurtured. Mm. Like even more than online. Yes. Online as well, but like life is even different. And then like there is this whole new this nurturing energy where I can like feed off of for like weeks and weeks.
Yes, no, and just to get it, I haven't had a physical hug from my teacher for 2.5 years. So just even that, it's just, as you're saying, it's very nice. I feel mothered.
So what's going on this week?
Well, I did prepare.
But last week people went crazy. So
well, why?
I don't know. Like everybody was like having meltdowns and super tired and like very, very I don't know, difficult for people.
We were in the right. So last week was the last week of the Omer, which is the 7 days, 7 weeks, and we get down into the physical. In the last week, it's very in the physical. It's the 7th, so we've come down through the 7 Sephirot, the 7 sort of points of light, and we're in the physical reality. So it's very heavy and it's showing us a lot of stuff, and we're coming to the end point. We're all getting reactive and all of that. But that ended on Saturday night. So we now have this new energy as of like Sunday evening. So, of this week. And the whole thing is now like your endorphins are back to normal, right? The light in the system is flowing normally. Your Shekinah, that is like the ozone layer around you, is comes back. So it's all the light now that comes into our system is filtered so that we're not receiving it like this and reacting to everything like that, which is what we've been talking about. So the final night, which after the 49th day, the 50th day is called Shavuot. And Shavuot is when all the Kabbalistic technology and all of the matrix of the universe was downloaded into the physical world. So we're really opening up to the whole technology of how the system works, how Kabbalah works, how the consciousness works of this universe, right? In that day. So after having done 49 days of work, then that is the building of the vessel back, and then you can receive as much light as you did as work. If you did no work and you were reactive, you just skip it by. So, but everybody would have had work to do. But when you're not conscious of it and you don't know, you're not maximizing the opportunity and you don't know what it's about, and all you're doing is in your reactive system. Yeah. So, and as the weeks goes on, it gets a little heavier. So we are now out the other side. We've done our 7-week, spiritual boot camp, and we are now in a kind of like that bit of the energy is moved. We are now after that. And so we come, if we've done the connections well, the work well, we come into this week with a whole new feel, a whole new vibe, right?
Love it.
Right. So yeah, that is the idea. And we start the week, we're in the month of Gemini, which is, really about fusion, right? So we know it's about communication and talking and new ideas and looking at things from different perspectives. This is basic astrology. Let's take it up the octave into the higher frequency. It's about fusion, because Geminis are bringing the light into this reality. They're bringing the messages, like they feel that they're channels of the light, right? If they're not spiritual Geminis, they're just talking from their mind, right? It's just gibberish, right? It's just any old story, any old thought, any old distraction, whatever comes in is just, there's no consciousness. But a really transformed spiritual Gemini is feeling the fusion between the light reality and this physical reality. How do we know this? Mercury is the planet that rules it. It's very close to the sun. The sun is the representation of the creator in this universe. It's just sharing, right? It's just in this physical reality, we see it as fire, right? Just a boom. Yeah, it's just sharing. But obviously in the outside reality, it's a frequency. Zoop. And Mercury is very close. And we know Kabbalistically, when anything is something is spatially close, it's kind of a representative, or it's a similar thing. So it's the joint factor between that physical between that light reality of frequency and the physical reality. So they feel like they're bringing in the messages we need to hear. So a very enlightened Gemini is bringing in the wisdom, and we know Kabbalistically all the time that the Kabbalistic wisdoms over the 5,000 years have mainly been downloaded, because they're not a writing, they're a download. It's a technology. It's downloaded in the month of Gemini. And so all of the codes, the frequencies, the messages are really here. So this is how it can work on the upper level, that we don't want to be thinking too much from our brain, not from our logic, because when we do that, we're in the doubt system. There's not enough system. There's a conspiracy system. There's something going on that I don't know about. There's something happening that I can't work out. I'm trying to do everything with a logic, right? When we're in the higher system, we're just letting the messages flow through us on what we need to share into this reality. What do I need to think? When we're less about the brain, sure, it's important to do some, but trying to balance it out between restricting the brain back a bit so that I can really hear and listen and speak as a channel for the creator into this world. That's when we're sharing, right? When we're a channel for this world. So this whole idea now of expanding the vessel comes to the end in Gemini, and I'm now in the month of Gemini. It's a month that can easily skip by because no one thinks it's famous, right? It's really super powerful to be able to get the right messages, the right information, the right idea that I need to share for others and also for myself in my reality. This week, the moon starts in the sign of Leo, right? Which is always about creation. What do I want to create, right? I need to be brave. I need to be strident and powerful and take risks. And I need to share and to shine and to go out into, in Leo ways, out in big, big ways into the world. So here in this week, we know we get an opportunity to really tap into brave new ideas, exciting new ideas, powerful new ideas, learn some new things. So this is a great week for really tuning in. What beautifully happened this week is the Mercury retrograde also stopped the day before Shavuot, and it's like stopped, it's going forward. In other words, like really on this year, it lined up so beautifully for us to have that inspiration that we need to get the new ideas, the new information, the new things that we need in order to go and take brave new steps into this world, right? So we really want to be tuning in and listening to the universe about where it wants to take us. What are the new things? What are the new ideas that I need to hear? The ego doesn't want to hear it. especially if it's coming through another person, right? This is a great idea for you. This is a new thing for you. The ego is going to be like, but that's not comfortable. So we really, not only as well as speaking new ideas and listening to ourselves, we really need to hear where is it coming from, because often our friends, our family can be great messages. Now, if you already have a blockage about a friend or a family, you know, this person doesn't know anything, doesn't tell me. This is the person it usually comes through, the person you don't want to listen to because the ego is blocking it. So I'm not going to say that's going to happen, but just be really open to whichever way it's going to happen. When ego puts up blockages, that person doesn't know as much as me. Why ask that person? They doesn't know what they're talking about. They don't know what I'm going through. What I'm going through is much more difficult. We have all of this movie. You really need to, like chatty. We really need to move what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, the chatty mind, and really open up to really letting it in as well as being able to speak it. And we will find that this week is a lot of energy to really take us forward in maybe with some new perspectives and some new ways that we hadn't really thought about or don't really know. We're so limited in what we can see and what we can think that we even ask for miracles from a limited reality. So we think like finding a boyfriend or girlfriend is a miracle, or getting a business is a miracle, or getting a client is a miracle. And all of these miracles are really in the frame of nature, right? They're in the frame of nature. They're just in the physical. They're in a physical miracle. They're not a real miracle. Like they're good. And I'm not saying don't have them, but they're not in the miracle beyond nature. Right? They're not in the miracle beyond the frame of nature, where it's just like where the light is just like over the top of this, being able to transform and change. So we really want to transform our ability to tap into, you know, really creating something new in our life that is beyond the frame of nature. You know, so when we have that consciousness, then we can really gain everything. We can really experience everything. We can see more clearly, experience, because we're riding above nature. When we're asking for these 1% physical things to pop up, they're very nice, but they're 1%. They're not energetically shifting the whole reality of what my life can be and who I can be. And we forget we have the power to do this. So it's really to get the wisdom that I need to go above nature, then we are winning the game.
It's really interesting. Like there's a certain couple of things that came to my mind. In Kundalini Yoga, the highest month of the year is June as well. It's the month of the summer solstice, and summer solstice is the highest day in Kundalini Yoga, where you can like really use the energy of the sun at its highest point to really like maneuver your next year, to like set in certain kind of codes to manifest the things, which is like really amazing. And it starts with the June 1st. For us, it started already there, and like now where Mercury is going forward, it's not retrograding anymore. It's in Gemini as well. Is that true?
It's not yet. It will be.
Oh, it will be. Yeah, that will be really interesting. And for us in Kundalini Yoga, this is the highest month, the month with the highest possibilities, the highest downloads, the highest wisdom, the highest like
amplitude all that.
Of all. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So we know the lunar cycle of Gemini will bring that in, and it's generally around June, beginning of July that usually happens, where we get that upshot of energy. And it's important to realize it's coming after Taurus and the Omer, and this year 2 eclipses and a Mercury retrograde. So this is a very like heavy physical energy out that we have to go into the physical world and really experience what I'm reactive to, where I'm stuck, where I'm stagnant, where I'm not moving, where I'm comfortable, where I'm attached, where all of that energy, right? It's very positive to see that, right? So that we can move forward, right? So that is really like a big cleanse out we did over these last 7 weeks with these lineups of astrological energy with the Omer. Is really like a big challenging time, you know, for us to go through. We for sure would have healed something or let go of something or you know, really understood something in the physical world to a lot heavier degree. We really feel it, right? So, and to go down into that is really important, right? We know that Taurus, the month of Taurus, has a great ability to heal physically. It's Venus, which is about healing. Taurus, the physical reality. So we heal the physical, which is obviously connected into the spiritual. So for sure, we would have got something with our skin, or I was with the stomach, or something pops out, right, into the physical reality. We hurt ourselves, or, you know, and the more connected we are, there's some more opportunity we've got to feel something physical, right? It's not the other way around. Yeah. So something physical happened to my body, and if we can tap into what that is, it's really good, right? So we are cleansing through that. So with this Omer period, we really get the opportunity to really feel where my reactive system and what needs healing. And then we get this incredible upshot of energy in the Gemini that really like gives us the inspiration to move forward. It fused better because I've cleansed something. So I'm fusing better with my upper reality.
Yeah, I think I know like a lot of my clients, but also a lot of people that I know personally have had this physical healing going on in those last 7 weeks. And I think it's one of the greatest opportunities to like, I know I'm so thankful that I work with you. And then I know, okay, the Omer starts, and then it's like I can do my things in those 7 weeks, you know, to amplify it as well in my spiritual practice. So like I really love that.
Yes, we tend to think when we're in this high energy of Gemini, things are moving and we've got inspirations and I feel more connected, and that we're more spiritual in these moments. And the danger is this is when we take the foot off the brake, right? When things are flowing, when things are fast, when things are moving, when things I feel easier and flowier, right? And this is actually when we're being least spiritual, right? When we're in the heaviness of it all and it's all very tough, I'm now going to apply my tools, and I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to study, and I'm going to meet my teacher, and I'm going to do the right. And we're more spiritual, but then the foot comes off. So this is also, there's like I'm just waving a red flag here that, oh, I just feel so much better. Now I'm just going to go and sit on the beach, right? In my mind. Yeah. So, you know, there's a danger here because the work here in this month is to really fuse above nature.
Yeah.
In Taurus, we're in nature, we're experiencing the world, we're experiencing how we react, and we're robotic and we're stuck, right? And this one, we're flying.
For me, it's a very spiritual month. And I also feel like that there's a, like, if you want to really use this month and you don't have a spiritual practice yet, what, for example, would do really well is just pray every day. Pray to the Mother Mary, pray to God, pray to the universe, pray to whatever you want to pray to, but pray, and pray for someone. Like, use your capability of prayer to support someone. I, for example, like in Kundalini Yoga, we say there's no higher prayer than a mother that is praying for her children. And I asked my mom once to pray for me, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I would love to do that. I always did it, but I would love to do that for you. Like, is it okay if I pray to Mother Mary?" My mom always prays to Mother Mary, to the Holy Mother, she calls her. And I was like, yeah, you pray, like you do you pray to whoever you feel guided towards to pray to. And it's so beautiful to use this energy and this possibility that a mother prays for you. Like, there's no higher vibration of love than a love from the mother to the children.
Yes, and I love this idea of praying for others, you know, for theirs, because you're becoming a channel, right? You're not busy with yourself and your own thing. You're,
and whatever you pray outwards, like, will come back tenfolded to you. Like, that's also, like, people are often very egoistic. They're like, oh yeah, but what if I give away my energy, and what if I blah 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 blah. No. The moment you pray for someone, for someone's highest good, highest destiny, for someone's healing as well, that is the moment that you really change your own holiness, your own spirituality, your own connection to the divine on this planet. This is like the
yeah, it is. It's yes, and it's that idea of really getting messages, connecting into the wisdom, the opportunity here is really good in this month, and it will continue for the next few weeks. And we also have a few other players in the month. So Saturn is retrograde now. Saturn is the lord of karma. It's about hard work, discipline, structures, where we take responsibility. It's the accountant of the universe, right? So we're out with our karma, it's making us come back in. Yes. So what is a kind of karma? It's repeated behaviors over many lifetimes, right? We're growing too fat about these behaviors, and we need to be sliced in. We need to do work, right? We've got to be earning that back. So Saturn going retrograde means that I'm reviewing a lot of the checks and balances of where I'm at in terms of my karma, right? It can bring up, particularly with Saturn, it's going to bring up fears and lacks and obligations and duties. These are the kinds of things. What am I fearful of? What should I be doing? What are my obligations? What's lacking in the world? What do I not have, right? And so I've got a fear about it now, and maybe I should go and do this, right? So this is the kind of like reactive responses to Saturns that they're bringing up. Being in Aquarius, it's about the collective, right? So we are, Saturn has been in Aquarius since December 2020. It's a very easy ride to remember, right? So we are now going close to 18 months of Saturn being in Aquarius. Strangely, Saturn is in a sign for 2 years. It's going to be in Aquarius for 3 years.
Strange.
So we get an extra and it does a few more retrogrades in the sign than it usually would. So this means that with Saturn in Aquarius, we're really reviewing collective stuff, right? We're really like going through things, the collective. Saturn is very good in Aquarius. It belongs in Aquarius, and it belongs in Capricorn. So Saturn is really, with Aquarius though, it's bringing up more of the collective karma, the collective fears, the collective lacks, right? Now, if we think about more or less where the world is right now, it's like with this cost of living crisis, right? And it's very strange that since Saturn has gone into Aquarius, that we experience things on a very humanitarian level. So, it's something to note that all of the things that we're kind of going through on this very collective level. Like the whole world is going through it.
Yeah,
right?
whenever something happens, everybody has it.
We're all experiencing a virus. We're all experiencing a cost of living crisis. We're all experiencing the supply chains melting down. We're all experiencing a lack of food on the shelves, right? We're all experiencing all of the things that
I haven't yet so far, but yeah.
What's that?
I haven't experienced any of this so far, but
no, but we may not individually, but it's the collective is going through. We're all affected by it, whether we are hitting it or not, right? We all have things moving around us in the physical world that are that, right? There's no one in the world that doesn't know about these things, whether we're individually affected by it or not. It's a collective thing that we're going through. But why is that? It can't be random. And the reason is because Aquarius nature rules over the humanitarian, it rules over the collective, it rules over the group, right? So we are, for the next 18 months, and particularly when Saturn is retrograding, going to be more affected by the things that are happening. Aquarius, as I said, Aquarius things are more humanitarian, collective, group, not family, sorry, but group orientated, right? So this is where the thing is. Also, interestingly, Aquarius is very much with technology, education, science, because it's rooted in the atom, right? So Aquarius is very energizing. It's the energizer, right, of the chart. It rules the atom. That's why when we're in the age of Aquarius, we knew we came into it in the 1600s, 1700s, Kabbalistically, because this is when all of the work of the atom and science and technology began, right? Education became public, technologies became available. We had the Industrial Revolution. We had cures for what was her name? The French lady with the cancer, Marie. I can't remember, but it was very famous science discovery of like cancer and all of that, right? So all the famous scientists began then. Jules Verne with this, you know, all of his sort of technological novels, Einstein, you know, all of that. The Second and First World Wars with technology, because it's very energetic related, right? So with a retrograde of Saturn, what it's doing is it's looking at things in the physical world that are really going up into the, also in the energetic realm. So for example, money, right? Money is physical, but it's also energetic, right?
Very
Heavily so, right? So is money becoming more physical or less physical? Less physical, right? Exactly. Property, more physical or less physical? If you ask a lawyer, intellectual property is the new big thing.
Yeah, and what about the NFT properties, which are in a
your life is going up in there.
Yes,
your whole existence is going up into the metaverse.
This is also what Nikola Tesla said it will happen.
Right.
And
right.
Tesla was also
again someone who was very Aquarius, New Age of Aquarius, right? And knew science, knew this, right? So all of this sciencey stuff, it's really hooked into the atom. If we go back 5,000 years and we look at Kabbalah, the whole thing is on the principle of energy, the 99% reality, right? Because when you look at an atom, the Kabbalists knew that 1% was physical and 99% is energetic. And constantly, Kabbalistically or energetically, we are with the 99%. This is where we want to be, right? So we will see over, you know, while Saturn is in Aquarius, but particularly the Aquarius age for the, you know, it's going to take us out. It's going to finish the whole game, right? But particularly, it's going to get more energetic. So the Kabbalists have this word, Mashiach, which is really what we say as Messiah. So this Mashiach energy is already available. It's already in this system, right? And what we're trying to do is bring that energy forward, right? So the whole nature of spiritual work is to bring this reunification back to order, back to unity, back to oneness into the system, not this fractured, structured, chaotic, reactive system. Right, exactly. We're coming back to oneness. So the Kabbalists call this in the age of Aquarius, this Mashiach energy. So what am I coming down to the point, right? So the Saturn retrograding is affecting us all in our humanitarian energetically. This is why, I think I need to call my mother, and you do that. Or I think I need to be here, and you do that. And this is the whole idea of the internet, really is the physical stepping point into us to going back to being telepathic, into us to being back communicating on the whole. So, you know, many of our senses and our communications in our reality is so based in physical. I can see Nicole, I can hear her, but there's another sense of me that is probably energetically connected to her that I'm not really that conscious of, right? For sure, I'm energetically connected to her. I'm connected to everything, but we're not really feeling into that. So as we're seeing that things in this world are becoming less physical and more metaphysical, as those heavy physical layers are peeled away, start to diffuse, start to disintegrate, start to become thinner, we're starting to become more energetically connected, right? So the things that are affecting us on the world, right, this is why we are now becoming more in tune to the fact that if I do this in Switzerland, it affects someone in Argentina, right? Now we might have supply chains, we might have, oh, this is the better product, or this is, if I do this very nicely, it's going to help them better. And we're starting to get more conscious of this. Well, we're never conscious of that before. If anything, a couple of 100 years ago, we're trying to like eliminate people, conquer them, you know, spread diseases and take what they have, right? That's not that long ago.
No.
Right, that, you know, this
like
was
yesterday.
that's right, and this is now slowly changing in the world, where we're becoming like a little bit different to my interactions with nature, my interactions with the environment, my interactions with people. Of course, a long way to go, but it's, you can see over this, it's changing into something else.
Yeah.
Millennials now are very with this. This is not a new, this is just how they think. It's not like a conversation to talk about.
No, for them
it's just normal, right?
They're like, yeah, well.
Exactly. But this Saturn retrograde, it happens for 3 or 4 months. Usually a Saturn retrograde, it's not short. It's a long period of time, especially, you know, 3 months might not sound much, but it's retrograding. It's going to feel that. And we're going to feel something about our energies and how we're connecting to things and how we unify with things, and, you know, a little bit more sensitively.
And this one is even longer, no? This one is, I think, almost 5 months. Am I right with that?
I'll check. Yeah, usually they're about. Yeah,
I think I read something today that it's until October something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, what's that? June, July, August, September, for maybe 5 months, right? Yeah. So they're usually about 4 months, 4 and a bit months, right? So this is the summer. We also have a Pluto retrograde. We will have another Mercury retrograde. We're going to have a Mars retrograde. We'll have a Neptune retrograde. We'll have a Uranus retrograde. Everything will retrograde except for Venus, right? So we had that one a while ago. So all the planets will retrograde. Jupiter will as well. All of them will retrograde up until October, November this year. So we're now coming to the point where the energies are going to make us reflect, review, revisit very collectively, like for the 2020, 2021 as well. They all went retrograde over the second half of the year, right? And this was when the difficult moments more came, right? The beginning of the virus, we were okay, and then the second half of year, and everybody's protesting and going crazy and reactive, and they're having their meltdowns, right? And all of that. The same that started with the cost of living crisis last year, and now we're having the meltdown in the second half of last year, and we can't fix it. We're going to do, the energy is going up, the supply chains are breaking down, you know, and all of that. So here we will see what's going, you know, something will come that's going to influences collectively. My theory is it's something economical, right? Don't know. Might not be. I mean, we've already got like another virus being talked about, the measles, the monkeypox, right? We've already, like, something will come that's going to impact us globally, right? And therefore, when it does that, it's going to reframe us, it's going to restructure us, it's going to move us in a different way collectively, whatever it is, if maybe a combination of things. But whatever they are, whether it's the monkeypox, whether it's a recession, whether it's America breaking down, these are all possibilities in the chart, right? Whatever it is, it's moving us forward, right? So it's challenging they are, and we don't want them, and it's chaos. In the universe is tightening the grips, because energetically, for us to transform and to cleanse, it squeezes out the gunk in order for us to wipe it away. Pluto's in retrograde. This is my last retrograde I'm going to talk about. Pluto is about that detox factor. It goes in deep into the soul and shows you your stuff, right? On a bigger level, it impacts the world by going into the world stuff, particularly as it's in Capricorn. It's going to go into where we have lack, where there is not enough, right? And so it will do, everybody has that. We're here to heal on it. We all have something where I feel I'm not enough, or I don't have.
I worked on that last week, actually.
right.
Something came up. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Right. point, we'll all do another layer of work on it, or we'll all have another layer of realization that we didn't have because it's in the subconscious. And Pluto is the energy that takes us down into the subconscious, right? Kabbalistically, if you can imagine it like a phoenix, it goes hurtling down in, and then it takes us up and out. It goes in there to pull out something.
Oh my God, I have to tell you after that.
Tell me.
I had last week the most strange thing. I had this feeling of never getting enough, like all of a sudden, and that made no sense because that's not true. And I, of course, knew that.
But it's very what a Taurus can go through. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough whatever. I'm not enough good looking enough. Is there a big thing?
I don't have enough money. I don't have enough. I'm never seen by men. Like there's just like this whole thing. I was like, what is going on? Like I knew that, like I know how I usually feel, and I know that this is not the truth. So I was like, okay, what's there that wants to be seen? And then I went really in deep meditation, and I saw this picture of me being a dragon in a cage. And every other dragon could fly away however they wanted, and I never got let out. And then I couldn't, I really worked on that, couldn't get it away. And then Bettina was here, my business partner. I said to her, can you please hold space, because I cannot get out of there. I'm so in there. I'm so this dragon. And she said, yes, sure. And then she said, open the door. And I said, I cannot, and she said, there is no door. Just this cage is a magic in your brain. And I was like, and then the cage was gone, and then I could fly, and I could do whatever I wanted. I'd be that phoenix, that dragon, that flying
but
thing.
Also reducing what we think is physically there into it was more for me, it was about this cage idea, which is the physical reality being able to be diffused, because it's illusionary, right? This is very much the Saturn return, the Pluto return at the same time. Pluto and Saturn are about death. When Saturn went past Pluto, that's when the virus started, right? Because they did a conjunct, and that is the beginning of that. What is death? It's an ending, or it's a physicality. It's when I'm attached to the physicality. It's nothing to do with whether you're breathing or not. So when we're attaching into the physicality of something, it's a death, right? Because there's no life there. It's in the energy of something, right? Yeah. So here, this Pluto Saturn return is what is the ends for me? What is the death for me? Which is usually lacks and fears. Right? Totally. Oh, I'm lacking in something, I can't do it, and that's the end of it. It's a death, right? This is why relationships die, finances die, business dies, whatever, is because there's a lack there. There's not enough for me. Now, if you're a creator that's created a billion universes and billions of stars and planets, you're not really bothered about your lacks, because your frequency is able to create in any which way possibility at all times. Yeah. So things only end when I'm attached to the physicalness of something. Now, we need to, in this retrogrades, go beyond the physical illusion, and as I said at the beginning, tap into the miracles above the frame of nature.
What I found really interesting, and what I find those retrogrades do for me, is they really make my subconscious be conscious. My subconscious mind talks in pictures, and some other people's talks in feelings, in kinesthetic, more in a kinesthetic way. And so I find it very interesting, when you feel that there is a block, or when you feel that there is this thing going on, tapping into it and let arise whatever wants to be seen without judging it, then your system really reacts well to that. That's what I found out.
Yes, it's allowing yourself to feel things coming from deep within. This is what this Saturn and Pluto retrograde will do, so that you can diffuse it, because it's all stories connected to the physical reality. Nothing to do with the immortality, the endlessness of you at all.
Totally.
Okay.
Amazing. So we both wish you a very wonderful week. May we hope that this helped. And let us know in the comments what you liked, what you would love to hear. And thank you very much for listening.
Great. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.